guys, today we are going to be talking about 25 reasons why developers will be using Mac over anything else out there. So the first reason, it comes down to security. So developers are obviously concerned about the safety since some of their projects undertake, they're very delicate and they can't be taken lightly. So most of the time they'll be using Macs, which are less affected by viruses compared to Windows PCs. The next reason would be superior build quality. So the Apple brand is obviously very synonymous with their superior build quality, and developers value quality since it gives them confidence that their work is exposed to minimal risks due to hardware malfunctions. Everything is, the hardware in a Mac is always very solid, it's very solid state, everything's going to function very well and very quickly. The next would be durability. So a byproduct of excellent build quality is that Macs are more durable and often will outlive competing brands by 2 years or more. My Mac is I want to say it's from 2011, and my PC is from 2010, and that PC kicked the dirt about 2.5 years ago. That PC was pretty outdated like 3 years ago. It's awful with the way it functions. This Mac is still kicking it. It has some issues, but it is definitely not as bad as that PC. The next would be that it's sturdy. So Macs are very sturdy. They can take a beating and performance abuse much better than any other PCs, especially laptops, which is something developers greatly appreciate. A lot of developers need to be able to stuff their laptop in their backpack and go, and sometimes they have to throw their bag in their car, and they're late to a meeting or something like that. And there's a lot of fragile computers out there. I know a friend of mine has this really crappy Lenovo, and they did exactly that. They threw their bag in their car, and the screen glitched, and now only half of it was working. Whereas my Mac has fallen off of my bed so many times I can't even tell you, and it works just fine. It doesn't even care. The next would be that it is very reliable. So all of those factors combined obviously makes Macs just so reliable, and that means so much to a developer. Nothing is more embarrassing than your PC malfunctioning during a demo. Man, that doesn't make you look very good. And obviously, if anybody's used a Mac, you should know they are very easy to use, and that is another reason why developers always prefer Macs, is because the product is always straightforward and they have an excellent UI, and it just makes it easy for anyone to use. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's more complicated. It's really not. If you spend 5 minutes on a Mac, it's so easy. It is so easy to use. I was raised on PC and Windows my entire life. I switched to Mac on my own, and I hate going back. I hate having to go to my other PC and work on that for web stuff. If I'm working on these websites for my job, and I hate having to go to that PC because it's not my Mac, and it's not as sleek as my Mac, and it's even just the screen isn't as nice, and they're just a couple years apart. It's awful. So the next would be high performance. So Macs often have a way better performance compared to other competing brands. And obviously performance is very high on the list for any developers regarding, ideal PC attributes. You want it to be able to function and be able to run all of the things that it needs to run. You don't want it to crap out when, you're trying to add some plugins to your site, which I was trying to add a logo to the back end of a site and my computer was not having it. So, that's saying something. But superior support. Macs come with, they come with great support, which gives buyers so much more purchasing confidence that if any issues arise, they're going to be dealt with promptly. I'm kind of lacking on my end. I need to take my MacBook into the Apple store because I know that I've been trying to deal with this issue and I've been trying to fix it on my own. And I know that, I can just go to the Apple store and it'll get fixed just like that. It's amazing. So yeah, that's a really big thing for developers, that you're going to have that amazing support when you opt with Apple. The next is that Apple is built with premium materials. So all it takes to ascertain the premium nature of materials that make a Mac is just to simply hold the PC. If you just hold the laptop and then you go and hold another laptop, like like a Lenovo or a Dell or an HP, you can tell what they're made of just by holding it. It's amazing. Oh, ignore that. I'm sorry. The next would be a fantastic trackpad. So the trackpad on the laptops is amazing. It's one of my favorite features. It's such a silly feature to say it's your favorite, but it's my all-time favorite freaking feature about Mac. Compared to every other trackpad and any other PC on the market, their trackpad is just seriously hands down amazing, and it is the most developed. And I'm just so fast with it. Like if I have things that are full screen, I can just switch between them so quickly by going like this. You can set customized notations with it. Like if you want 3 fingers going upwards means something, then you can have that set. 4 fingers going up always just opens up all of your things. It's amazing. I really love it. If you have, your 2 fingers, you can go like that. It's going to open up your disk utility. It's so nice. It's so nice to use. And the same with the mouse. A lot of people don't know that you can customize your mouse, but my mouse, I had one many years ago, and I had it customized so where I can do the same type of a trackpad motion on this, because obviously, if you have this mouse, this is a touch screen. So when you scroll, you can just go like this. Like right now, I can see the screen moving. You can go this way to go back a page, this way to go forward. A lot of people have this as kind of like, you can make it smaller or bigger. It's great. It's amazing. What other PC is going to offer you that? The next would be visually stimulating. Macs are so visually appealing, and they feel great to the touch. Everyone, including developers, appreciates that just extra effort that Apple does to make their products an aesthetic masterpiece. The next kind of tying in with that is that Macs make a statement. So Macs are just a very resounding statement. So for the majority of industry players, nothing screams, I am a serious developer more than when they're using a Mac. Especially if you go to a meeting with a client and you have to develop something for them and you pull out your MacBook, they're like, okay, this person is a legitimate, they know what they're doing. They kind of have a little bit more confidence in you just by seeing that brand, by seeing Mac. The next would be that it's uncomplicated. Again, Macs are very simple and engineered to offer just amazing service with minimal complications. The next, like I was noting with this current laptop and my PC back at home, I got them around the same time. They were made in the same time. And the PC that I have at home, the screen has nothing compared to this display. The displays in Macs, just like the trackpads, are seriously the best. That it's what gives the developers an upper hand when tweaking some graphic aspects, relating to undertaking projects. It's just amazing, and it just keeps getting better. Like the Retina displays on Macs these days are just it's out of this world. It's so beautiful. The next would be great battery life. Macs have a battery life that just blows seriously every competitor out of the water. The closest one is a Chromebook that comes, but Mac still beats it. There's been times where I have my computer out for an entire day and I'm like, oh my god, I have not plugged it in once today, and I don't need to until I go to bed. It has an amazing battery life, especially, you can opt with the settings on how bright it is, if you have your keypad lit or not, saves, obviously saving battery life. The next is that it's ideal for 3D animation. Most animation studios, such as Disney and Pixar, they use Macs because their screens are just far superior than any other. The next would be that Macs are excellent for specialized tasks. So like software development includes various specialized functions, and Macs are just the best at tackling such a demand for those functions compared to other PCs. And they're able to tackle them and do it in a fast manner. You're still able to execute your work in an efficient manner, as fast as you can basically do it. The next would be the culture. So Apple as a company, it's cultured, and to many, it is really a true representation of the American dream. Many people, including developers, they're really just attracted to Apple products, not for their quality, but for the culture and the history they represent. The iPhone is kind of a standalone, like, hey, that's proof right here of the culture of it. Targeted advertising, Apple has invested a lot in a niche advertising, which has led many developers into gravitating towards Mac. The next reason that they'll use it is a silly one, but it is true. It would be peer pressure, because since so many developers are using Macs, the newbies feel pressured to conform, which usually ends up being the case. But it's conforming for the betterness of themselves. They really are doing a service for themselves by getting a Mac. The size and the weight, smaller size and weight, are enticing computer attributes to a developer. In Macs, they capture just both, making them even more appealing. This is a MacBook Pro, my personal one, and then this is also a MacBook Pro. And this one's actually lighter than my one, obviously, because it's newer. And they just keep getting lighter, and they just keep getting better, and it's amazing. But this one is still pretty freaking light for being a laptop and being the size. It's a 15-inch. It's a nice computer. It has speakers on both sides. It's very nice. And it's still a great size and a great weight. Like, I have this bag over here, and this laptop fits perfectly in it. The third would be quality third-party software. So Mac third-party softwares are developed by a lesser number of experts who just have to adhere to these strict guidelines, but the results of that are better quality software that is in line with what Apple as a brand represents. The next would be that it's free operating system upgrades. Though unlikely to continue for an extended period, major Apple operating systems releases offered, they have the free charge Mac to users of any type of operating system update. And that's what it is with the laptops, that's what it is with the phones. And I honestly, I do see them continuing to do it that way. I don't know why they would ever change it. Yeah, they could capitalize on it, but that would probably just make a lot of people mad. I just don't see them doing it. But you never know. I never saw them taking out a headphone jack out of a phone, so what do I know? Brand loyalty. So a lot of people are, a lot of developers are iPhone and iPad users, so it pushes them to buying Macs. Moreover, people tend to stick to Apple products once they start using them, and it makes it seamless. I have an iPhone. I'm about to buy a new iPhone, an upgraded version, because not only do I love iPhones, I love everything about it. I could go on a whole separate video of that. I'm trying to cut this short because I'm realizing my camera's dying. But it's seamless. So there's AirDrop. Everything can be shared just wirelessly and seamlessly between the two. It doesn't take as long as it would with a PC. Granted, it doesn't take that long with a PC, but it's a lot faster. It's instant when you have a Mac. If you have an iPhone and you have a Mac, it's seamless transition between the two. You can have your listening devices, you can have your photos and videos being dropped to each other through, just through the air. You don't even have to have them plugged in. It's great. The next and final one would be quality stock software. So a Mac comes with that stock software such as iTunes and Maps and iMovie, etc., which makes it useful out of the box. Because pretty much all buyers treasure it. A lot of YouTubers, they don't want to buy Final Cut Pro, even though that's the best editing software out there. They'll just use iMovie, and iMovie is still good. You can still do a lot in iMovie, especially if you're making really basic videos like what these are. And iTunes is great. Just all of these little things that it has in it, especially if you have an iPhone. Obviously, you're going to use iTunes as well. But that is it for this video, guys. I will see you on the next one.